Greetings, Raider Nation. The Aiden O'Connell saga is far from over, and today we're diving into everything that's gone down over the past 48 hours. From the moment he was stretchered off the field to the renewed hope of seeing him play against the Atlanta Falcons, it's been an emotional roller coaster of a week. Will AOC be ready for Monday? Let's break it down, piece by piece. Last Sunday, the match against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was electrifying, but nothing drew more attention than Aiden O'Connell's exit. After a collision in the second half, our quarterback fell to the ground holding his knee. Moments later, we saw the stretcher coming in and AOC being taken off with an immobilizer. Everyone's reaction was unanimous. It seemed like the end of the season for the player. This is something no fan wants to see. Usually, when you see a leg splint and a player being carried away on a stretcher, you know what to expect: a serious knee injury. That's exactly what led many experts, and even the most optimistic fans, to believe that the Raiders would need to find another solution for the rest of the season. Even Raiders interim head coach Antonio Pierce blurted out during a post-game interview, "It doesn't look good." Such a simple statement, but it carries a huge weight when it comes to injuries in the NFL. From there, the discussion turned to another. Who would be AOC's immediate replacement? When the news began to emerge on Monday, everything changed. According to insider Adam Schefter, O'Connell scans showed no structural damage to his knee, and the injury was diagnosed as a bone bruise. That means he could theoretically be back as early as next week against the Falcons. But wait, Raider Nation, is this a good idea? Bone bruises may seem less serious than ligament tears, but they are still painful and limit movement. Even if he has a strong desire to play, forcing him onto the field before he's fully recovered could be risky. Despite the optimistic diagnosis, the decision to put him on the field is far from simple. On the one hand, the team wants to win. On the other hand, no one wants to risk the future of such a promising player. The pressure is on Antonio Pierce and his coaching staff to decide what the best path forward will be. While we await the decision on AOC, the Raiders have already moved to have a backup plan in case he doesn't play. Desmond Ridder, the likely immediate backup, is already being groomed to take over the starting role. However, the team also promoted Carter Bradley from the practice squad to the main roster, increasing the options on offense. Additionally, the Raiders have added Jake Luton, formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars, to their practice squad. Luton has experience in the league, but he's not exactly a name that fans are excited about. Still, in times of emergency, it's always nice to have another option. The big question is, can any of these quarterbacks deliver? If Aiden O'Connell is truly out, it's hard to imagine the Raiders' offense operating at the same level with less prepared players who are less well-rounded with the main roster. While some fans believe that losing games now could guarantee a high draft pick, Max Crosby has made his position very clear. There is no chance of tanking on his team. In a recent interview, Crosby put it bluntly, "If we're tanking, I'm not on the field." It's that fighting spirit that defines Raider Nation, even in tough times. Against the Buccaneers, we saw that exact mentality in action. The Raiders' defense, led by Crosby, forced 3 turnovers and kept the team competitive until the final minute. Even with a losing streak, the effort and heart of players like Crosby is undeniable. For Crosby, losing on purpose will never be an option. And with Aiden O'Connell at the center of this discussion, it's clear that the decision to play him or not will depend on how the coaching staff views the rest of the season, trying to win or planning for the future. To put it simply for everyone to understand, Aiden O'Connell is the best chance we have to win. His ability as a quarterback has already brought important victories this season and has shown that he has the potential to lead the offense for years to come. If he can play, the Raiders' offense will have more balance and creativity. His ability to read the ball and his accuracy in short passes are things that are missing when he's not on the field. Without him, the offense becomes predictable and more dependent on running. On the other hand, no one wants to rush his return and end up making his injury worse. The decision to put him on the field against the Falcons will be made very cautiously, but it will certainly impact not only the game, but also the next chapters of the season. With their current 2-11 record, the Raiders are in the lead for the number 1 pick in the 2025 draft. That means the team's future could be secure, especially if they land an elite quarterback like Caleb Williams or Drake May. But winning games now could put that position at risk. Even a simple win against the Falcons could be enough to lose the lead in the draft to teams like the Giants or Patriots, who are also fighting at the bottom of the table. The big question is it worth sacrificing a possible bright future for immediate victories? That is a question that Antonio Pierce and his team will have to answer. The Raiders' remaining schedule includes games against the Falcons, Jaguars, Saints, and Chargers. None of these teams are in great shape, which means their chances of winning aren't that low. That could make things even more complicated in the draft. The Falcons, our next opponent, have struggled to find consistency, and the Jaguars have not been a dominant team. Even the Chargers, who close our season, can spare players depending on their situation in the playoffs. With games like this, the Raiders could end up winning by accident. That puts even more pressure on us to decide. Do we prioritize the present or the future? Raider Nation is divided. Part of the fans still maintain the just win, baby mantra, while others already accept the idea of losing to guarantee a strong draft. There is no right or wrong answer, but one thing is certain. The future of the team depends on the decisions we make now. Whichever side you support, it's impossible to ignore the fact that this season has been one of the toughest in recent years. However, with the right decisions, we can turn the pain of 2024 into hope for 2025. The main question is, are you ready to accept some defeats today to dream of victories tomorrow? Or do you still believe that winning is always the best option? Everything is at stake, Raider Nation. The future of the franchise, the present of the season, and even the spirit of the team. The decision regarding Aiden O'Connell could define the course of the Raiders not only for the rest of 2024, but for years to come. Regardless, we need to come together as a fan base. Raider Nation is stronger when it's together, supporting the team through thick and thin. And with or without AOC, the battle against the Falcons promises to be an exciting one. So Raider Nation, what's your take on all this? Should AOC play or not? Should the Raiders fight for wins or embrace rebuilding? Comment below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. After all, together we are stronger. Just win, baby!